It's April 23rd, 2017. We want to sort of take stock and assessment of where the status of the property stands. Here's the garage. We're looking at the garage. Here's the driveway. And here is the mountain of mud and sand that was put here back in December of 2016. Up at the top are the remnants of the neighbor's wall, and that's the garage. You can see the mud and sand that comprises the mountain of mud and sand is eroding, and it washes down into the driveway. And from the driveway, it then washes down into the street. And so then there is a collection of sand and silt that accumulates at the bottom of the driveway and into the street, where it then eventually washes down the street and into the drain here on the street. This is the front of the property. This is the front of the property here. You can see the remnants of a construction fence that was erected back in roughly December of 2015. It has collapsed, and it's kind of like trash and debris at this point, buried under the sand in the front of the yard. You can see the front is eroding. It's littered with construction debris, and it's also eroding and washing into the street. There's bamboo which is growing on the front yard, which is only starting for the season, but within a few weeks I expect that will be several feet high. That's the front wall. Behind is the front portion of the retaining wall. Okay, over on the side of the property that butts the neighbor, we have construction debris that was left here by the contractors. Again, this portion of the soil is also eroding into the street. This is some sort of vegetation mixed together with a pallet, some pieces of wood that were used for the forms to pour the concrete. There's iron rebar. There's further pallets and pieces of wood that were used for the forms to pour the concrete. Been left here. They straddle our property and the neighbor's property. They've not been collected for months at this point. This is supposed to be the drainage system that's supposed to drain the water from the neighbor's backyard safely. And as you can see, the pipe that comprises the drainage system is broken and damaged. Here's another view of the mountain of mud and debris, and you can clearly see the erosion that's taken place, that's eroded down into the driveway and ultimately into the street. We'll walk up this side. This is the front of the yard. This is the driveway. You can see that the driveway's been damaged by the heavy equipment that's driven over it onto the front yard. All this has been damaged by the tractors and shovels that were driven over it to access the back of the yard. You can see that this portion of the yard, front yard, is further rapidly eroding into the driveway and then into the street. We'll walk along the front of the house here. These are the tracks from the equipment that's been driven repeatedly from the front to the back in the process of conducting the remediation. Here's more construction debris that was left here. This is a pile of rebar on a pallet together with some scraps of wood. There's the contractor's wheelbarrow over here. A pallet of cement, I guess. Not sure what that is, perhaps sand. Here's several pallets of concrete masonry unit. You can see the soil here also eroding into the street in this case. Here are pallets of concrete masonry units that have just been left here for months, together with the plastic that I guess wrapped them at some point. Soil here, all eroding. Here's the side of the house. Weeds are beginning to grow again. I expect in a couple of weeks these will be very high. More construction debris back here. This is the status of the back. The plastic was put there to protect the blocks which are exposed on the top. There's no cap on these blocks. The plastic has ripped, blown off, blown away. Here's the back of the house. This is a view of the back. Again, the plastic has been blown away in many spots, leaving the wall completely uncapped and exposed. There, at the top, the fence is collapsed. The fence that abuts the neighbor's property in the back has collapsed. The neighbors recently, about a month ago, put plywood temporarily in place of the fence. This is the back of the yard. There are cinder blocks or concrete masonry units piled up here. Some sand, a pallet,